Okay, this is a truth table question, but they even tell us that right here, right? Truth table. But this is one of them that they make be a little bit more difficult by not actually giving us the steps of the truth table. Well, they gave us the starter here. They gave us the values for P, Q, and R, but we're going to have to build our own truth table. Before we get started, just a few reminders. Okay, see we have an AND there. So for an AND statement, AND statements are true only when both statements are true. All right? And we have an OR statement here, right? OR statements are false only when both statements are false. So there's our rules for this one. One other thing, this is a compound statement, right? We've got P and not Q inside parentheses, and then we've got our OR. So the order in which you do things does make a difference sometimes, so do the right order. We do inside parentheses first, then left to right. Okay? So what we need to do is figure out what we need to make this. So we're going to do the inside parentheses first, so that's this statement. So what do we need? Well, we need P. We've already got P right there, right? We need AND, so we need not Q. Well, we don't have a not Q, we have a Q. So the first column we make, it's going to be column 4, is going to be not Q. All right. Not Q, if you remember, is the opposite of Q. So opposite of true is false. Right, here's the Q column. Opposite of true is false. Opposite of false is true. Opposite of false is true. Opposite of true is false. Opposite of true is false. Opposite of false is true. Opposite of false is true. All right, so we have our statement we're trying to evaluate. Our early statement here is P and not Q. We've got both. We've got P. We've got not Q. So we're ready to do that one. P and not Q. All right. So what this is going to be is this is going to be column 1 and column 4. So let's look. True and false. That's false. Remember, an AND is true only when they're both true. True and false. False. We finally got one. True and true. They're both true, so this one's true. Here's another one. True and true. They're both true, so this one's true. False and false. False. False and false. False. False and true. False. False and true. False, right? The only time they were both true were these middle two statements right here, and those are the only time they were true over here. All right, so what's the next column? Well, let's go back and look. So we've already got what's inside parentheses here, and we need to do an OR between that and then not R. Well, we don't have a not R, right? But we've got an R, so the next step's going to be to make our not R. You see what we're doing is I'm just making the columns that let us build up to this one step at a time. So not R is the opposite of R. So opposite of true is false. Opposite of false is true. Opposite of true is false. Looks like this one's going to alternate. Opposite of false is true. Opposite of true is false. Opposite of false is true. Opposite of true is false. And opposite of false is true. All right. So now we have everything we need here. We have this compound statement here is in this row. We have our not, that column, of not R in this column. So now we are ready to do our final column. All right, so this is an OR, right? Remember, OR is false only when they're both false. And what this is this is column 5, this one, or column 6, right? So it's this column or this column. So false or false is false. That's the one case where they're going to be false. False or true, true. True or false, true. True or true, true. False or false, well, that one's false. There's our double false again. False or true, true. False or false, another double false, so that's false. And then false or true is true. Now if you compare up here, you'll see that this is an exact match for what they had for the answers. I hope you found that helpful.